How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Coffee and Critique. We are going to have a very special guest in the room. Her name is Andrea. She is an actress and she just got into the room. Hello, hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh, good, good. Not a sunny day as yesterday, but good.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful the other day, and today was kind of like a surprise. I live in Jersey, so we're used to this going on and off.
This wind is driving me crazy, literally. Like I'm going crazy when the wind starts.
Oh man, how you been during this quarantine?
Fine, fine. I'm going a little crazy last days, because the weather is nicer and nicer, and I really want to be more outside and, of course, have a life like before. But it's fine. I was very creative and productive during this period of time, so I was practicing a lot and watching some series, of course, like everyone. Nothing special.
No, tell me what were you doing? Like anything specific?
No, I'm having classes like. I'm still doing my first semester at New York Film Academy, so like we have classes. It's very intense because one class is like 3 hours long. So, and we need to, we have a lot of homework every day. So it's very intense. So I'm trying to catch up with school and also to watch something that I want privately and, yeah, do some things for union of, actors in my country because everyone is like doing things online for people, for children. The theaters are organizing the artists. They are like reading fairy tales to the children and doing things like that. So
That's awesome. Where are
yeah,
you
I've
from?
been doing. I'm from Montenegro.
Oh, where is it? We got cut off on Instagram.
Usually playing it across the Italy, small country across the Italy. It was part of Yugoslavia.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. That's awesome. That's awesome that you taking the opportunity to like better your craft and go into New York
Yeah,
Film Academy. Are you doing it more so for acting or do you plan on like doing like filming?
acting for film. Acting for film. I was specifically looking for a program where I can develop my skills and my technique in front of the camera because, and actually I found out that there are not a lot of courses in the whole world where you can learn that.
Really?
So yes, I was when I was speaking to my professors, they told me there are only few courses for acting for film. So yeah.
Wow, that's good to know. You would think there would be more schools about that. I guess there's a market to create that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
because the theater is like the basic. We learn, of course, uh, we learn the technique that theater professors, actors, and directors created. So basically, it's all the same, but the technique is, of course, different because it's another medium, different mediums. So yeah,
That's
a lot of practice. That's what I wanted.
okay. So, do you feel like not interacting with people in this process kind of affects your learning curve to actually really understand like the whole process? Like, is this kind of putting a damper, or is it motivating you to like read more about it opposed to being next to people?
But this situation, quarantine,
Yeah.
yeah, you are more focused on yourself and on your feelings and definitely maybe listening to yourself more than when everything is normal, when you are like trying to live your life because everything is so fast. And especially when I moved to New York, I was just trying to like catch up with all the things. So living very, very fast life. So now definitely is the time when you have more time to listen to yourself. So I think for the artist is very, I mean, I think it's good opportunity to to find out and to discover a lot of things about yourself and about your art and to work on something.
That's awesome. What have you learned about yourself in the meantime?
Well, I'm not actually a person who has so much patience, and that's not good. But I definitely think I learned to be more patient in this period.
Okay.
So I didn't know I had it so much, but no.
I think it's funny that you say that because I guess a lot of people don't realize what really is when you like, because this is like a really like a super like the fastest way to slow someone down, like as a whole.
Hmm.
And I learned like myself that I was like, wait a minute, I've been doing all these things to entertain Instagram and my business, but when was the last time I sat and entertained myself in such like I like to paint. I actually am an artist first, so I haven't like really drawn like that in like so many years. So then when I bought some stuff on Amazon, I started painting, I started drawing again, and I was like I felt like it was like being reborn again, and it actually gave me some new ideas. So maybe this
Yes, definitely.
patience kind of helps in terms of acting and learn how to like, all right, let me reserve the energy that I have and not like really put it all out there so quick to exhaust my mental, because I know acting is definitely a mental strain. Maybe it's different. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Definitely it is. You have to be in really good relationship with yourself in order to create something and very honest and like think about all the time what is changing inside you and why, and think about people and watch watch people all the time very carefully.
Ah, now I'm I haven't been to acting school, but I know the methods. Is there anything that you can teach someone currently? Like what you learn, like what would be like the three top things to teach someone starting out? Like if say for example I wanted to act, what are the three top things to look out for? Or like just to do, like to get in practice or something like that.
That's a good question, and I wasn't thinking about you caught me now. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure I can be very precise with like the type of exercises that I will recommend or make someone do. But definitely the first step is realizing who you are, in like realizing how your body is moving. What are you and trying to learn to be neutral in order to create another human being who is like doesn't have the same uh, opinion about life and things about life as you. So and that's actually the first thing you learn on first year when you go to acting school. Like the professors try to make you feel as more uh, feel conscious about everything you are. So that's really good lesson and good start. Um, and very important lesson, especially I mean in life, but especially for someone who would like to be an actor.
Yeah.
You always are always someone is leading you, and you have to trust the people who are you working with. You have to trust them really very very much in order to create something that is truthful. So it's very important to know how to accept critique and how to accept advice and something that someone is telling you, and not to be any time in any situation offended by it, because then you will destroy your uh, you will not develop as an actor. You will be in one place because you are rejecting to hear some things, some bad things about yourself. So that's a very important lesson. And I know it's hard sometimes. And of course, it happens depending on the situation, when you are too tired, when you don't feel you know everything about your character, and you are searching and you are lost. Of course, it's hard, but you always have to like try, try
Yeah.
to be open-minded as much as you can, because that's the only way. So I said two. Can you forgive me? If I remember something more, then I will tell you I'm a little nervous.
No, it's good. No, that's definitely. I feel like you're hitting the major points because I think it's really true that first you have to understand who you are as a human being to be more humane. That's how you really like. That's how people connect. The audience will connect to you, and the most
Mhm.
important is be open minded when people have creative criticism. Because I know there's a lot of people who are kind of closed minded and very they get upset when you kind of give them some critiques. Because
Mm.
I understand sometimes there's people who just don't want to hear it. Like if I didn't ask you, don't give it to me. Like I get it, but like if someone took the time to say, hey, you should, maybe these are the things that, you should, work on, then they took the time mentally to think this is a way to improve you. Even if it was a hater, I always listen to what sometimes the haters would say
Mm.
because I
Yeah.
I listen closely what they say. Like if they all say the same thing, I'm like, all right, maybe I need to work on that. But if it's just like nitpicking at certain things, I really don't bother. But it's just interesting that one person really needs to be open minded if they want to grow, and that's very important, especially for an actor to develop quick. And you can't walk on a set and think that you know everything because you don't know everything. So
Mhm.
maybe somebody that might not be at the same ranking as you may be able to teach you something you've never known before. Or maybe they introduce you to maybe a new method of acting and they're not even an actor. Because sometimes we go into that phase where only actors can give actors advices or directors can give actors advices instead of it being
No, 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 no.
maybe you can learn from someone else who perhaps may not be in that profession. Maybe they have an eye, or they hear or they see things and they just didn't pursue it, but they can critique creatively, and you should be open-minded to those people as well. What are your thoughts
I
on that?
mean, it's the real audience that, I mean, my mom always says to me when, of course, she always has a comment on my work, on my performance, on my exercise movie, whatever I show to her. And of course, she's audience, and she always has different type of comments. It's not like when a colleague tells you something. So sometimes she doesn't know how to explain me, and then like I get in a kind of offended, but not offended because I already told you what I think about that. But she's like, but I'm the real audience. I mean, you have to listen. Real people, what are they saying? Because you made this for us. We are going to watch this. So I definitely think that you should listen to everyone, because sometimes, and usually, the people tell you, uh, things what they think about, your acting, or, the situation they saw. They say that so simple. They use so simple words that can completely like, change your thinking about that, even though you already had a process which lasted like 3 months or even 1 year or whatever period of time. And then they say something so simple, like they see that and they say just something very, very simple. And you're like, oh my God, it was in front of me all the time. And you weren't able to put that in the way they did.
Exactly.
So
It
it's
could
very
be like
important to listen.
it could be simple as, oh, it seems like you're slouching when you're acting. Maybe you should like kind of push out your chest a little more so you can breathe a little easier when you deliver your lines.
Exactly. It could be some comment on the position of your body, or it can be like what the character does all the time. Maybe some kind of action which is very, very small, and you think like all the time no one would ever notice that. Like then someone tells you, "Oh, you were doing that all the time," and you're like very surprised, but actually it came through.
Yeah, that's definitely golden. This I feel like those are those little moments that you remember in life. And like, yeah, I remember that like years ago, and that made me who I am today. Because it only takes like a few words to kind of change your life.
Yes. And also you need to be really careful because, like, you have good things, but someone can sometimes say something that can really crush you.
Yeah.
And like, it can be really bad for you. Also, it happened to me a few times during my, bachelor studies. Um, but it's okay because if you are aware of that something hurt you and you are fighting to discover why did that hurt you so much, then you're in a good way because uh, by the time you will discover, because you are working on that, you're not just like suffering because your destiny is so sad. So it's really important to work on all the things all the time. But,
That's awesome. Now, I want to ask you just before we wrap this up. Do you feel like how am I gonna word this? Do you feel like the industry has has changed out from the outside standpoint looking in? Do you think that actors are being more respected in the workplace, or do you feel like it still needs work? Because I've heard stories about, actors really not being really truly appreciated on the set that well sometimes aren't the main character. Do you feel like that's still an issue today?
mm. Well, actually, I don't know to answer you on that question because I didn't have any experience here on set. So I, I don't know. But, definitely there are a lot of people who are not appreciated as they should be.
Okay, so
That's always
because
like
this answer you can
very,
answer this from an outside point in looking in, opposed to you being in
Mhm.
and kind of seeing what's going on. Because I know because I've seen the ins and outs, but some people feel discouraged, like, oh, I don't want to be treated like that. I don't want to act. Is there anything that you would kind of push people to continue? Because maybe you have some insight, and maybe someone maybe has they've seen the wrong picture, like, oh, that's not always the case. It depends on the production that you're on, like it could be all different variables. But I just want to know like a consensus, because I've been asking a lot of actors, what's the inside scoop on what's going on.
Well, I really don't know. I know, I only know that you have to be very, very, disciplined, uh, on set, and that it's very hard to, I think it needs time to learn all, all the things that are happening. And, it's very hard to stay concentrated because like, it's really funny because you can understand that, I mean, behind the camera, there are so many people. It's like the crew of so many people, and you are pretending that like there's no one there. So
Yeah.
you really, one must be very well prepared and, very concentrated all the time. and he has to develop some kind of special skills to be like in good relationship, and to know how to honor and to respect all the workers and to know what everyone is doing. So it's actually the one of the first lessons we started learning, acting for film. We were in front of the cameras, like first week. And what we did was everyone was everyone. So I was sound. I did with the slate. I was director. I was the manager. I was a director assistant. So everyone needs to learn every position in order to know what everyone does. So I think it's very, very important.
That's actually pretty cool. I think everybody should be in someone else's shoes, especially on set, because sometimes they don't understand on like that's where the respect comes from. Because sometimes like the respect comes down from the top and it trickles down to the bottom. So everybody has the same job, is to make the film work. And when you think you're above that law and you're separate from that, it kind of ruins the kind of motion and the gears of what everybody's goal is. So everybody has an important role, whether you like to see it or not. Like the guy who focus pulls, the grip, the assistant, the production assistant. Like everybody has a job to make sure everything runs smooth, and everybody needs to appreciate that.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because my friends from from Sarajevo are writing to me, and I'm really super concentrated because I'm speaking about acting in English. So it's like my brain is exploding all the time. And they're like, "Okay, you're ignoring us. Ciao, ciao."
I understood a little bit of it. That's funny.
Yeah, it's very important lesson. You should be in everyone's shoes, and you should respect everyone's position, and you should not do you because when you do some other job, and you will not do then things on set that are their job. Like you will not do anyone favor, because then someone can lose actually job because of you, because you are doing him a favor. Because when you move this mug, then someone will lose a job because of you. So you definitely need to know some things, because there are some trivial things and you don't know it. So I'm really happy that I have an opportunity to be in school and to have an opportunity, someone to explain me, so I can make a mistake, and then professor will explain me that very, very, like he will go into the details. So now I don't have to be stressed out when I will be on real set. Hopefully one day when this all finishes.
Exactly. That's awesome. That's a great positive outlook. And I want to take this time to thank you for taking this time to do this interview process, because I have a podcast called Coffee and Critique, and I just been reaching out to a lot of artists, a lot of creatives, and I just wanted to know their insight on what their process is and how they go about it. So maybe that could inspire my audience and your audience on how the world is, and also, that everybody just gets together and just learns from each other,
Oh, that's the only way, I think, when you speak to people and when you exchange everything as much as you can.
Exactly. And I shoot film myself, so in the future I will be reaching out, and I would love to work with you one day.
Of course. I'm here. I'm in Brooklyn.
Hey, I live in Jersey, so I'm not too far away.
Okay, it's not a problem.
Awesome. So I want to bid you farewell. Enjoy the rest of your day, and stay warm.
Okay, my friend told me that you should follow her, so please, this beautiful actress from Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah, tell her,
send me right here.
send me her information. And then I'll follow her back.
Please. Eto, Ivana.
All right, Ivana. All right, got it. All right, have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye. Ciao.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Have a good one.